Hello and welcome back to our series on Inside Executive Search. For the last few episodes, we have spoken about executive search, leadership expectation, how decisions are made at the top, and so on and so forth. However, today I want to talk about something that is rarely discussed in the open, but almost everyone in senior hiring has experienced. The reality that a significant number of candidates, even at the CXO levels, accept offers they do not intend to honor. Now, this is not an occasional issue, it is becoming a pattern. And it raises a deeper question. Are we dealing with market dynamics, or are we beginning to see an erosion of integrity at senior levels? Let's talk about number one, the reality behind CXO hirings. What makes this particularly striking is that this behavior is no longer limited to early or mid-career professionals. It's happening among individuals who have spent decades building their careers, leading teams, and speaking about values, culture, leadership. And yet, when it comes to one of the most important professional commitments, accepting a role and signing on the dotted line, we are seeing a very different reality play out. Candidates accept offers, sometimes even sign them, initiate their exit from their current organizations, and then somewhere along the journey, the decision changes. In some cases, they continue exploring other opportunities even after committing. In other words, the offer is used as a leverage to renegotiate internally. And occasionally, the withdrawal happens at the very last moment, when the organization has already aligned itself around that particular hire. What is driving this behavior? To understand this, we need to look beyond surface level judgments. There is no denying that market dynamics have shifted significantly. There is more opportunity, especially for senior talent, and organizations are willing to move quickly and pay premium for that right individual. This naturally gives candidates more leverage than they've had in the past. At the same time, many leaders today are more aware of their market value. External offers often become a way to recalibrate compensation or role scope within their current organization. While this may be seen as pragmatic, it also blurs the line between genuine intent and tactical negotiations. Another important factor is the changing nature of the employer. Careers are increasingly becoming transactional. Long-term alignments, which was once a defining feature of leadership careers, is giving way to shorter cycles of opportunity and movement. In such an environment, the emotional weight of a commitment tends to reduce. However, there is also a more uncomfortable reality. In many cases, decisions are made without full conviction. Candidates may say yes before fully thinking through the role, culture, stakeholders they will be working with. And when clarity emerges, the easiest option becomes withdrawal. While all these factors explain the behavior, they do not entirely justify it. At some point, this becomes a question of professional integrity, because leadership is not just about capability or experience. It is also about credibility, the ability to be trusted when you make a commitment. A verbal acceptance carries a weight. A signed offer carries even more weight. And when either of these is not honored, it creates a ripple effect that goes beyond a single hiring decision. What is the impact on the organization of this? For organizations, the cost of this behavior is significant and often underestimated. Senior hiring processes are long and complex. They involve multiple stakeholders, internal alignments, and often the elimination of other strong candidates. When a candidate withdraws at a later stage, the organization is forced to restart the process, leading to loss of time, momentum, and sometimes credibility within the business. At the board levels, this also raises a deeper question. Questions begin to shift from is this the right candidate to can we rely on this individual to follow through. Over time, this changes how organizations approach hiring, making them more cautious and in some cases more conservative in their choices. The long-term impact on candidates. For candidates, the short-term gains of such decisions can be quite visible. A better offer, a stronger role, or improved compensation. However, the long-term impact is far more subtle. Reputations travel quietly but consistently in senior circles. Search firms, board, promoters tend to remember patterns of behavior. And in leadership hiring, where trust plays a central role, these perceptions can influence future opportunities in ways that are not always immediately visible. There is also an inherent contradiction. Leaders who expect commitment and accountability from their own team are at times not holding themselves to the same standards when they are making career decisions for themselves. Now let's talk about role of your search partner. In this context, the role of a search partner becomes even more critical. Executive search is not just about identifying the right candidate. It is about ensuring alignment, conviction, and follow-through. Requires deep conversations, not just about the role, but about motivations, timing, and intent. It also requires the willingness to challenge candidates when there's a lack of clarity, and at times to step away from situations where the commitment is not strong enough. Because a placement that does not convert into a joining ultimately serves neither the client nor the candidates, and executive search has to bear a lot of brunt. At its core, this issue is not about offers or compensation. It is about the nature of professional commitment in today's market. As opportunities increase and careers become more fluid, the importance of integrity becomes even more pronounced. Because in the world of leadership, reputation is not built only on success or capability. It is built on consistency, on whether you stand by your word, especially when circumstances change. And perhaps that is the simplest yet most powerful question for any leader to reflect upon. When you say yes, does it truly mean yes? A question to ponder upon. Signing off, Rajesh Pandit.